Folks, 2023 is now behind us, so let's take a look back at some of the coolest events of the past year on the next Astronomy and Coffee. Hey folks, get into my spacesuit. New Year's celebration behind me here. Well, now it is 2024 now. I believe it is. Slow up my coffee here. What are some of your New Year's resolutions? Is it being a better person? Is it losing weight? Is it eating better? Is it making more astronomy and coffee videos in a more consistent basis? Let me know in the comments what your New Year's resolutions are. So these events in 2023 are not the top 10 events, but they are going to be the 10 events I found to be most interesting. So let's take a look back here. And to start off, it is a 200-foot asteroid that came closer to us than the moon comes close to us. Yes, this is a 200-foot asteroid. It passed closer to us than the moon passes us. It was discovered by astronomers at the observatory of La Palma in the Canary Islands in Spain. Well, it orbits the sun every 3.16 years, and for a while it actually posed quite a risk of hitting us on March 27th of 2026. But they reassessed things, and the risk of potential impacts now isn't consistent with any observations. So, currently, we are safe for the time being. But this asteroid was called Asteroid 2023 DZ2. It was a concern last year, but we are in the clear. Moving right along with number 2, we have a search for alien fragments on the ocean floor. Did you hear about this? Yes, they were searching for alien fragments on the ocean floor. It's not really what you might expect, though. Well, Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb went on an expedition in the Pacific Ocean to search for remnants of an alien object that supposedly crashed there in 2014. He used a very strong magnet. He was able to find these metallic spherules, or little sphere-type objects, and these were composed of unearthly origins, as he put it. Well, they're not exactly looking for spaceship parts, but the remains of a meteor called IM-1, the first interstellar meteor. Well, finding these little spheres after a meteor crash isn't that unusual. In fact, when some metals burn up, they leave behind these little metallic balls behind. An example of this is when you burn some steel wool and you look at it in the microscope, you can see these little steel balls. Tiny little steel balls in there. So not quite unusual, but the composition of these balls is curious because it's not exactly what typical meteors are made of. So moving on now to number 3, the Oumuamua object that once was believed to be a spacecraft. It is an interstellar object that entered into our solar system. They didn't know what it was, but some people suggested that it might be of intelligent life. Well, not necessarily the case, as often these things turn out to be. Of course, one theory was that it was being bandied about was that it was an interstellar object, which it was, but Oumuamua was actually this cigar-shaped spacecraft. Well, it might have been an old relic of a spacecraft that had gathered bits of space rock over time. But after this new peer-reviewed paper has come out, it has been suggested that Oumuamua was simply a comet from another solar system. And one of the things that made them think it was a spacecraft was its strange acceleration. After this study came out, it was pointed out that this acceleration could be explained by its warming up as it got closer to the sun. As it passed through our solar system, it turns out that it began to outgas hydrogen. So this outgassing of the hydrogen was able to sort of push it a bit faster than it would normally go. So that explains that. Now, have you heard about dragon bones on Mars? This would be number 4. Again, not top 10 in order, but 10 of the things I thought would be most interesting. Dragon bones on Mars. Are there dragons on Mars? I don't know. Let's find out here. Well, Back in April, Curiosity came across some curious, weird-looking rock formations. They appeared to have these spiny spikes on them. Well, these spikes appear to follow the same striation patterns in the rocks. Well, Curiosity, the science team behind Curiosity, hasn't officially given word on what they believed these to be, but the hypothesis goes as follows. This is a quote here. There are parallel ripples in these sediments, with coarser or better cemented grains accumulating in the troughs of the ripples. That could result in regularly spaced parallel linear features in the sediment that are more wind resistant. And wind erosion roughly parallel to those features, so they protect themselves as the rest of the surface recedes, and you might get something like this. So no, not dragon bones. Sorry. Just different sedimentary particles that are more resistant to erosion than others. Number 5 here will be the October annular eclipse. Hopefully you were one of the few that came by the museum. We had some telescope viewings, and we had some eclipse viewing glasses as well. We had some experiments set up as well. So if you missed that annular eclipse of 2023, guess what? You have a total solar eclipse coming up in April 8th of 2024 this year. So the big one's coming. Prepare yourselves accordingly and go ahead and order those eclipse viewing glasses before they run out. Well, number 6 would be the asteroid sample return of Bennu. Yes, we were actually able to leave the planet, intercept a asteroid, land on it, get some stuff, lift off, and get back home. Quite an achievement here. On September 24th, 2023, a capsule from NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission returned pieces of the asteroid 101955 Bennu safely to Earth. NASA's first collection of a pristine asteroid sample was so successful that at first scientists had some trouble even accessing the sample, but study is now well underway to understand the role of carbonaceous chondrite asteroids in Earth's formation. Well, now we have proof of active volcanism on Venus. So, after decades of searching, scientists have finally found a clear sign of active volcanism on Venus. A new analysis of decades-old data from NASA's Magellan orbiter caught a change in the shape and depth of an apparent active caldera. We've long known that volcanism has completely resurfaced Venus in the recent past. Now we finally have evidence that it will still be happening. The finding will also inform future missions, which will know better what to look for when they arrive at our secretive sister planet. And number 8, we've had some successful moon landings as well, and launches. 3 nations attempted to land on the moon this past year, and 1 succeeded. That would be India's Chandrayaan-3 set down on the lunar surface pole on August 23rd. Russia's Lunar 25 lander and Japan's Hakuto R lander crashed, however. Meanwhile, 3 successful launches marked a great year for planetary science and astronomy in space. NASA's Psyche mission is now on its way to metallic asteroid. ESA's JUICE mission is en route to Jupiter, and another just-launched ESA mission, Euclid, is already returning spectacular first images. And now we move on to the TRAPPIST update, number 9 on my list of 10 really cool things that have happened this past year. TRAPPIST-1, B, and C. We now know more about them, and it doesn't look very good for signs of life. Well, this promising septuplet system of rocky planets around the nearby red dwarf star TRAPPIST-1 disappointed this year, with 2 sets of James Webb Space Telescope data returning up no air at all on TRAPPIST-1b, and only a small chance of atmosphere on TRAPPIST-1c. However, even if both inner planets end up being airless, that doesn't spell doom for the system as a whole. Time will tell what Webb will find for the 5 more temperate outer worlds. We now have evidence of stretching and squeezing in space-time. Well, in an ingenious technique developed over decades, astronomers use the signals from pulsars pulsars all across the Milky Way to look for the infinitesimal squeezing and stretching of space due to crisscrossing ripples in space-time. And this year, they finally found it. A low and quiet hum of gravitational waves, probably coming from supermassive black hole binaries near and far. So yeah, there we go. That is some of the 10 coolest things that have happened in astronomy and space this past 2023. Well, what will 2024 bring to us? Well, there will be the total solar eclipse. Now, we won't get a total solar eclipse here in Louisiana, but instead we will get a partial solar eclipse. Still cool to go see. And if you want to go see the total solar eclipse, you'll have to go into the path of totality. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for another Astronomy and Coffee. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. That would help out in the algorithm very much so. And also, please like and comment and all that kind of stuff on the Facebook page. That also helps out a whole lot too. Very much appreciated if you do that. And go to the website and see what's coming up soon here at the museum. We will have a brand new show starting in the planetarium. Starting January 27th is going to be 321 Liftoff. Great new show for all ages. Aside from 321 Liftoff, we are going to have a new space here in the Art and Science Museum. It is going to be called The Seed. It is a hands-on gallery. It has been renovated. It is all new. It has a great lot of new things in here. Well, The Seed is a place for aspiring artists and scientists, and we'll be able to explore Earth's 118 elements with LASM's interactive periodic table. This is sponsored by BASF, and you can also do some problem solving with LASM's Rube Goldberg. Also do some problem solving with LASM's Rube Goldberg machine. This is sponsored by the Canadian National Railway. You can also learn about LASM's wide array of items in the museum personal collection and the Seeds Curiosity Zone, sponsored by the Dudley W. Coates family, and much more. And with that, I'll see you next week for another Astronomy and Coffee.